Hey friends, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different because we're not actually out on an adventure for this one, but we're prepping the camper for much bigger and longer adventures, which is always a good thing. So let me take you in the camper and show you what I got going on here. All right, we're going to have to get a little sporty here with filming, but I got a very small residential AC that I installed. I know the wood border around it looks kind of not too great, but I have to do that for rigidity and strength to hold this thing in there nice and tight. I got the power cord running to my VTOMAN Jump 1800, and it's currently sitting at 96% with both the VTOMAN Jump 1800 and the extension battery. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to, here's the cord that connects the two. I'm going to unplug the extension battery from the Jump 1800 because I want to run the AC using just the 1800 so we can see how long the Jump 1800 would run my air conditioner without the extension battery. So we'll do that test first. So we'll go ahead, turn on the AC. Okay, so that came on. So let's go ahead, power this up. We'll turn eco off. We'll turn fan on. We'll turn it on cool. And yeah, we'll keep the fan on low because it's a small area. So we are going to have to wait for this to kind of crank up and for that compressor in the air conditioner to kick on and ramp up, because right now we're only pulling 58 watts and that's because it's just running the fan. Okay, we got ice cold air coming out of that already, but you can see it's on, it's running. We got 277 watts, 279. Yeah, so you can see that compressor slowly ramping up. It's pretty much stopped at 300 watts, well, 302, 300. And the VTOMAN Jump 1800 by itself without the extension battery will run this for 4.4 hours. That in itself would be enough for me because I'm only really planning to run this thing in the afternoon, last couple hours. Once I get to my spot, I'm done outside, I want to come in, maybe it's been real hot and muggy and I want to just take the edge off. I just want to run this thing for an hour or two to cool it down and call it good. So just the Jump 1800 in itself would do that as long as you have a smaller AC. This is a small 5,000 BTU from Walmart, residential, and I can run this for almost 4.5 hours. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll plug the extension battery in, and theoretically it should run it for around 8 hours then. That's what a guy would think anyways. Let's give it a try. We'll shut this off first. We'll make sure they get the same tests. Shut that off. We'll plug this back in. Give it a second to recognize it. Okay. We'll turn the AC on. Okay, so that put us back up to 96%. So didn't change it a whole lot because before the test I had this plugged in and was using it. So, all right, now we'll turn this back on. Same settings. Fan on low, cool. We'll turn eco off. Now same thing as last time, we'll have to wait for this thing to turn on its compressor to start getting the full test. Funny thing is it's so cold out today. It's in the 40s that I got my diesel heater on to warm it up enough in here so that the AC will even kick on its compressor. Oh, I just heard the compressor kick on. So you can see the wattage going up. So straight up to that 300 mark again. Hovering around that 300 mark. Okay, so at 96% with the extension battery plugged in, I can run this air conditioner for little over 8.5 hours if the compressor was on the whole time. So that's pretty sweet. with both of them plugged in, with a total of 3,070 watt hours. If it was at 100%, it's at 96. And even at 96, we can still run this thing for 8.5 hours, and it would actually end up being more, because once the camper got cooled down, that compressor would kick off and then kick back on as needed. So a guy could almost run that all day. But I still wouldn't, because my whole goal with this setup is to be able to run AC intermittently as needed and still not worry about running out of power to run everything else, like my coffee maker and charging up my lights, phones, laptop, camera batteries. I also have this set up to where I can plug the whole camper into it and run all the lights. This is working great, guys. That is nice cold air coming out of there. You can see $300 324 watts is what that thing's running at currently. Now it might run at a little higher wattage if it was like 90 degrees in here, you know, until it got it cooled down. But not a bad unit if you guys are considering doing something like this. I got that at Walmart. It was not bad priced. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's the smallest, basically the smallest window residential AC unit you can get at Walmart, as far as I know. And it's got an eco mode and all that. It's got a sleep mode timer. Pretty nice little unit. You can see it draws between 300 and 400 watts. Now I'm guessing if it's very, very hot, I'm guessing this can probably jump all the way up to 600 watts. But I think in most scenarios it's going to run about what it is right now, between 300 and 400 watts. So there you have it, friends. The VTOMAN Jump 1800 by itself will run this AC for about 4.5 hours. If you add the extension battery to double the watt hours, you can run this media air conditioner. See, now we hit 62 degrees in here. It kicked off and we're only running at 56 watts now. So I think I really could probably run this thing all day if I needed to. Again, it's not summer out yet, and I get that. It'd be working a lot harder if it was hot in here. But I do have my heater on high to keep it hot in here. I'm really excited about this setup. This is going to allow me to be a little more comfortable in here when it's real hot and muggy. And it's going to also allow me to bring Fern, my little adventure buddy, with. Alright, so I got my diesel heater shut off. I shut this off. This test made me super happy. Using the VTOMAN Jump 1800 on its own, I could run that AC for about 4.5 hours. When adding the extension battery onto the Jump 1800, which doubles the watt hours, I would be able to run this AC with the compressor running for about 8.5 hours. Now that compressor is going to kick on and off as needed. So assumingly, I'd be able to run it for actually longer than 8 hours. Now, if it's super hot out and the compressor never shuts off, then that is what it is. But if any of you are out there with a truck camper already, or thinking about buying a truck camper and wanting to just do a budget build, get you a nice, cheap, small 5,000 BTU residential window AC from Walmart. And the VTOMAN Jump 1800 is a great power station. You get a lot of watt hours for what you pay. If you want to really amp up your power station, get the extension battery with it, which takes the Jump 1800 from 1,548 watt hours to just over 3,000 watt hours. And that is a nice budget setup. Along with running my AC, not all day, just when I need it. This is enough watt hours here where I can also charge my phone, charge my laptop, run my coffee maker in the morning. I got this set up to where I can plug the whole camper into the Jump 1800 and run all the lights, stuff like that. And like I said on my last video when I was reviewing just the Jump 1800, it's going to be hard to find a power station that gives you as much as the Jump 1800 does for the money. So they're generally always running some sort of sale. And then on top of that, if you use my discount code, you get $20 off that. You get $20 off that as well. Now at the time of filming, they are running a Easter sale. I don't think this video is going to make it out by the time that Easter sale is over. There's a bunch of safety features built into this as well. And when you add the extension battery onto it, all it does is just double your watt hours. This is still controlling all the power, and it still has all the safety mechanisms and everything in play there. But once you get that many watt hours and you have a power station that can run stuff up to over 3,000 watts, for a short time, and then run continuously at around 1,800 watts, you could even use that not as a full home backup, but have this thing sitting in your house to run lights or some appliances if you ever lose power, stuff like that. For me, it's truck camper. Check out my links below. Use my discount code and you're going to get a good deal on it. But right now, you could get this whole setup, almost 3,100 watt hours, for less than $900. With tax and everything, it might take it a little over $900, but just the VTOMAN Jump 1800, when not on sale, is normally $1,300. But like I said, they generally have this stuff on sale, plus my $20 discount code. All right, now I know some of you are probably looking at that, seeing it in the front window there, and you're probably thinking, man, that thing's got to stick out a long ways. It's got to be close to the back window of your truck cab. And you guys are not wrong. I'll take you out and show you. So what I did was I put the jacks on the camper and I jacked it up just enough so that it was not sitting on the truck box anymore. And I moved the camper back 1.5 inches. And I just did that by putting a 2x4 spacer up at the front of the cab. It already had a 4x4 up there, and I just added a 2x4. And I did that so that I could fit this window AC in here, and you can see that it does stick out and it does get close to the cab. So that's about 1.25 inches space in between the air conditioner and my back window. Now I already know some of you are going to reach out to me in the comments and say, oh, that's way too close. You got to allow room for the frame and cab and stuff to articulate and flex. I know. And you're not wrong. But I don't feel it's too close. If my frame and cab are flexing and articulating to the point where it sucks up that 1.25 inch gap and the AC hits my back window, then to be honest, that AC hitting the back window is going to be the least of my worries, because my frame should not be flexing and my cab and box should not be flexing that much. That would be a crazy amount of flex. I would be concerned at that point for a cracked frame or something. The box mounts, something would have to be broken for it to be flexing that much. So with that being said, we got us another project checked off the list. Next major project is going to be adding way more solar to the roof. And then at some point, guys, I'm going to have to address the elephant in the room. And that is my quickly deteriorating canvas. Literally every screen in it is shot, and just merely almost looking at the screen will cause it to tear. It seems like there's a new tear in the screen and a new rip in the clear plastic every time I lower it and put it back up. The canvas itself is pretty good. There's no holes in that, but all the windows, all the screens are junk. I'm going to have to address it at some point. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys, or maybe if any other YouTubers are watching this video and know a company that can help me out with that. That's going to be something I need to address soon. Don't forget, if you're interested even in the least bit, check out the links for the VTOMAN Jump 1800. And if you feel inclined, I'll have another link for the extension battery. Whether you get just the Jump 1800 or get it with the extension battery, it would make for a great power station for a little off-grid shop or an off-grid she shed or he shed, you know, a little off-grid cabin. For me, it's working amazing in my truck camper, which I'm building for off-grid use. You could also have it just as a reassurance little backup in your house for some power. It's not going to run your whole house, but it will run a lot of your major appliances and keep your freezers cold or keep your fridge cold, you know, anything like that. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's a little different because we're not actually out on an adventure, but every now and then a guy's got to do work to his rig so that you can get out and adventure for longer and in more comfort. So as always, to the military men and women, past, present, future, thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye, friends.